Hello, winners, and welcome for Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to sail on a luxury yacht? Well, you are in store because we have a special guest today, Oya with Atlas, and we are going to jump right into it here shortly, but please make sure you subscribe, share, and follow for Two for the Win. And I can't wait for you to hear from Oya and what she has to share. Some amazing experiences. So let's get right to it. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host Nick to do the introductions, and here we go.
Hello, winners! Very excited for today's episode on Wanderlust Wednesday. So we have a guest today, like Will mentioned. So who is our guest? She's currently Senior Director of Sales for Central South Region and Key Accounts with Atlas Ocean Voyages for the last 3.5 years, but work in the travel industry since 1999. So lots of experience, as you can imagine. We had the chance to meet her last November, and she's definitely passionate about the travel business and industry and extremely positive, which is very valuable as a partner. So it's our pleasure to introduce to you Oya Bekisoglu.
Oh, wow! You said it awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, how you doing today?
For having me. You said my last name perfect. Oh my God, that was good.
You see that?
I think you really studied on it. I practiced.
Oh yeah.
So let's start because our audience or winners, like we like to call them, are very excited to hear from you. So first of all, tell us a little bit more about you and your journey in the travel industry, because you've been there for 25 plus years.
Plus than that. So I'm Turkish originally. I was born, raised there. I had I studied tourism and hotel management also in Turkey. So all I know is travel, really. I mean, in Turkey, I worked at the tour operators, hotels. I even worked for some airlines, and then I became a flight attendant, and I found myself traveling the world. I even loved more about travel because it really changes people's lives. I mean, I changed. The more that I see more destinations, more new cultures, I changed in a good way. And then I moved out to United States on 1997. I was with Air Consolidators, so I have a very heavy air background too. And then I've been with cruise lines, and I've been with Atlas Ocean Voyages since 2021, and I'm loving every moment of it. Travel is really passion, and it has to be in your blood. You can't take it off. Once you start, that's it. And all I know for my career, this is it. That's all I know. If you ask me anything else, I'm like, I don't know. That's all I have been doing, really. So that's me.
Fantastic. There are worse industry to be passionate about than travel industry. So I completely
Exactly.
completely
No,
feel
this
you
is
there.
fun. This is fun. This is amazing. I mean, I have the opportunities like meeting you. Is just an example that we really create those lifelong friendship. It's not always business. I take it as a friendship that we learn from each other, we grow together, and then when the business, comes together, that's even much better. But even if it's not, I know that, you'll be my friends. So I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fantastic. No, I love to hear that. Thank you for that. And so you are one of the leader for Atlas, and I want to ask, because I know it's not one of the most popular cruise line that we can hear when we look on TV, commercials and things like that. So can you tell the audience, for anyone who don't know who Atlas is, can you describe what Atlas is all about in your words?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, we launched in 2019. And as you know, that was a magic year.
Mhm.
And then 2020, everything was shut down. So our first voyage was 2021 of August. Um, Atlas is our first North American brand. The parent company, Mystic Invest, has been in the business over 25 years now. And we have our own shipyard. We build our own ships. We build ships for others. So we're very well known in Europe. As I just mentioned, that Atlas is the first North American brand. So our headquarters is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But what makes us really unique and what we are is we're year-round expedition company. And if you think about what expedition is, in true words, expedition is to explore any destination in world in depth. And how do you do it, right? How do you explore in depth? And it's an expedition. Well, the size is very important, right? Our yachts, and we call ours mega yachts, they're less than 200 guests. So to be specific, is 196 maximum guest capacity. Our yachts, they are less than 10,000 tons. It's 423 feet long. So that makes us perfect size to explore more hidden little ports, right? Because we can go there. So the size is very important, like intimate. And also we have experts on board. For example, when I said year-round expeditions and where we small intimate yachts, right? With the experts on board, we do the education part of it. Let's say you're in Antarctica, right? We have polar expedition leaders in Arctic and Antarctica that we learn about the birds, about the penguins, about the continent, about the history of it, like how it happened. You can only understand Antarctica if you are in a smaller ship that allows you to do a lot of experiences. And when you have the experts on board, now you're learning about it, right? When you're in the meds, we call it Epicurean expedition. It means that we replace these expedition leaders with the chefs on board, which allows you to go to the meds with the chefs. You travel with them, you shop with them, you cook with them. They tell you all about the history about that food. Let's say I'm Turkish, right? Why Turkish baklava, which is better than different than the Greek baklava, right? There's nothing bad or good, but I'm just making a joke. But the herbs are a little bit different. And then you learn why. Like, let's say if you're in Spain, why the Spanish paella is different than the Portuguese paella. So the idea is, again, I'm not going to go over and over, but the idea is to be able to take our guests to the destinations with our experts on board so that they can immerse themselves wherever they go. And we do it with our experts on board, with the ship size and very unique itineraries that we accomplish it. And that's really us in a nutshell. And we go to the polar regions and also in between, we go to the Meds, Northern Europe, Iceland, Arctic, British Isles, South America, Caribbean. Yeah, that's it.
It sounds not only enriching for the body and the experience, but also the mind, learning a lot. So those who are maybe a little more inquisitive by nature, or just like learning and really getting the depth of the experience and understanding it, sounds like that would be a fascinating experience.
Exactly. And really, when you are sharing these experiences, just less than 200 guests allows you to meet with the others, like-minded guests, right? You sit them, you sit and talk with them, or the expedition leaders, or the chefs on board, or historians. You really continually engage with them throughout the journey, and it makes it more special. And I forgot to tell you. Oh, one more thing. One more thing I have to say.
That's your show. That's your show.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the brand. It's an all-inclusive brand. So you can drink 24/7 if you want to.
Wow. There we go.
This is your 10th, 10th shot or whatever. No, it's unlimited. Your beverages, your meals, gratuities, all of the above, they're all included. So it really puts us in a market that a very unique position. The value is, I think, amazing. The only challenge that we have is we're still new. Not everybody knows us, but we know what we're doing.
No, I love that. And thank you for sharing all of that. I also know that you guys won a huge award last year, the Best Expedition Cruise Line in 2024. So that's pretty prestigious. I know that a lot of cruise line are willing to get this one, but you guys snatched that one. So congratulations. So I have a question. So I know I can see anybody breathing oxygen to go on Atlas, but what would be the ideal, like demographic of the people, the age category and things like that people would be, what are the most people most likely to go on Atlas?
So the demographics, we are targeting North American travelers.
Okay.
Do we have Canadians, some, Brits? We have somewhat, now it started like more from China, like Chinese clients are coming also, but majority is the North American is number one. The age is, I would say bullseye is 55, but do we have 40 years old? Yes. We have 80 years? Yes. I think, and I've done 2 times Antarctica. I've done a lot of Epicurean expeditions in the Meds also, that what I would say that our guests, they're very open-minded. They're very curious to learn, to deep dive, and very active. Because our expeditions, you are going to somewhere very, destination focused, right? You're going somewhere to really immerse yourself, not like to go and play, poker, and because we don't have any casinos, it's not a gambling, ship. It's small, but big enough, large enough, luxury, all inclusive, that our guests, they really like that flexibility. No formal nights, very casual. I would say like a yacht style casual, country club casual, but we don't ask gentlemen, to put a tie and a jacket. No formal nights. Again, it's a yacht, it's yachting expeditions. So you always remember that. And it really makes our guests feel more comfortable. At the end of any cruise, you feel like you're leaving your extended family, you're leaving your own yacht with your friends. It gives that emotional feeling that you don't want to even leave the ship. Seriously. And
That's dangerous.
that's what I also get a lot of questions about the minimum age, like, how about the children? We love children. We're very, we're open with families, but we have not many things for children.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
so minimum age for the non-polar regions, for an informational purpose is 1 year old, 1 year old. But again, there's really not much to do. So
I mean, it's
nothing.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I think that the audience understand that you have everything for someone, but not for everyone at all of them. So that's great.
Correct.
It'd be appealing if the parents need a little break, right?
Exactly. and like on the Arctic and on Antarctic, like the polar regions, minimum age is 8, right? And then parents, some parents, they bring their children like 9 years old, 10 years old. They're very curious. There are some kids that they love it, right? They don't get bored. They're more into the nature and learning that curve. And even the polar plunge, as long as the families are okay with the polar plunge, which I wouldn't
Nope.
I wouldn't, but some parents, they, allow them to jump into the cold water, minus degrees. I did it
Nope.
twice.
I guess that's the survival of the fittest mentality, right? They're like, oh, let's see if this kid's worth keeping around.
Oh, that's funny. No, but I know it's a very hard question, but I always love to ask that. You guys go everywhere, right? You mentioned, what is the top 3 destination from Atlas based on the demands from customers?
We are killing it for Antarctica and Arctic.
Polar.
Now, a couple of reasons. And of course, the Epicurean expedition, which is in the Meds or Northern, Europe, anywhere. I'll come to there in a second. But for Antarctica and Arctic, the regulations are, eliminating some of the bigger ships to even go there. This year, 2025, Arctic, if you are holding more than 200 guests, you're not even allowed to kind of like see by. They say like by, they used to they cannot maybe get out of the ship, but they could still just kind of pass by. They're not even allowing that, right? So we're one of the very few companies that can still go to Svalbard, like longer being round trip. It's the Arctic, so we can still do that. For Antarctica, the maximum capacity we hold is 175 guests, which allows us again to go to the shore and landing. So you're really getting out of the yacht and you are walking in the continent. Or zodiac landings, like twice, sometimes 3 times a day, rarely, but at least twice a day, weather permitting, you're doing it. So that's why it's very popular. That last year we were already sold out for 2025, January to February. For 2026 already we have 80% capacity, and we're just killing it. Again, it just sells out because when you are going to some certain destinations, you have to understand the destination. Some people are okay if they don't leave the ship and then they say, oh, well, yeah, I have seen the icebergs. I was in Antarctica. I don't call it I was in Antarctica. I have to be able to get out, right? And again, we're very, very, few, this category that's a killer destinations. When it comes to the Epicurean, which is in the Mads or the Northern Europe, like warmer waters, we're very unique. If you think about the Meds or the warmer waters, there are so many other beautiful other companies, and they're in the small ship categories, right? And they hold 300, 400 guests. I'm not going to name any of them, and they're doing an amazing job. But with our category, 196 maximum capacity, that yacht style, you maybe have one more, but not. It's again, how we do the things makes us, puts us in a very unique position, which I'm so proud of. With the all-inclusivity, chefs on board, you're traveling with the experts, having overnights in those destinations. Like an example, we can still go to Venice. We go in Venice. You can get out of the yacht. You're in Venice. You're not driving anywhere. You just walk to the water taxi and off to go for the, Mark Square. Those are very unique, unique, I think, sweet spots for us to be. Again, our biggest challenge is we're still, new. Just what do they say? The kids, the new kids around the block.
New kids
on the block.
Yeah.
Hey, you should see him when he's been taking all those shots you're talking about, doing karaoke, singing New Kids on the Block. It's something to see.
There you go.
You see how he is. He put me on the spot like this. Now I'm gonna get bunch of calls.
Step by step.
I will get all those calls for I demand.
Hey, you can thank me later when you're on American Idol or something. So.
Oh,
there you go. Oh,
this is hilarious. No, I know that you, Oya, you went, if I remember correctly, end of last year or begin this year, you went to Antarctica again, correct? Can you tell us what is the one thing that someone who has no idea about Antarctica, if you can say one thing that may move the needle for someone to say, you know what, next destination, I'm going to Antarctica? There are more than one, right?
Yes, I'm really, in my head now, I'm kind of thinking, well, as we know that's one of the destinations that is remote. I mean, but what would move the needle?
An
Penguins?
experience you had or something that just stood out?
Or maybe the little penguins that you're going to see the penguins? Really? I mean, there are so many reasons. I mean, icebergs, for example. It's fascinating when you really learn about those icebergs. I've seen albatross, those huge birds that, when you're doing the drake, you see them, the beginning of the drake. They don't go far further south, but I mean, I can't say just one, but if I really need to do just one, I think the icebergs are fascinating and to see. There was one, I wish I could show you the picture. It was probably bigger than Manhattan. It was huge. That iceberg was huge. And if you think about that, millions and millions of years, how that iceberg was, you know, get created, and then underneath that is even bigger. It's just mind blowing. It's a destination that I think. I mean, it's not for everyone. Seriously, like I have some friends that they think I'm nuts because I've been there twice and I want to go there again within a heartbeat. It's something for me. Not that I like cold, but every time I go there, it's just different. It changes all the time. The Mother Nature, I think, created something that is fascinating. And
I
I don't
agree.
know if I answered your question or not, but
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a hard question because everybody are different, and I know, you know, being able to do some stuff like kayaking between the iceberg and have like the whales who passing by, the penguins, the, like you said, albatross and things like that, the plunge. I hate
yeah,
it, but a lot of people, they want to go there just to do that, like, so you have so many different things. But when I talked about that to clients and things like that, when they ask me what would be the number one destination, I always say New Zealand or Antarctica. Very different, but those are the two things that are very specific to me that you need to do once in your life. And
I
I
agree.
couldn't agree more about the beauty of Antarctica. Nowhere else you can find, because I hear people saying, "Oh, well, I've been to Alaska." Well, the iceberg are not the same. There's not the same at all. So
Wrong, Paul. I
I
see
know.
the North Pole.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. So this is good. This is good. Now, when we have a lot of people who are foodie in our audience, they love food. So can you tell us more about the kind of food? Because I know it's all inclusive, but what kind of food can people expect when they go on board Atlas?
So, when you are traveling with our chefs, when you're in the Epicurean expedition, besides our main dining room, I just want to talk about it a little bit there too. Besides our main dining room, we do have al fresco, which means outside sitting restaurant, that you can have your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and they're all included, as I mentioned earlier. Those are fantastic, and our menus are changing every day. And also, we have in the warmer waters the Seven Apps, kind of like a chop house, steakhouse, but it's a Jasper grill. We call it Seven Apps Steakhouse. It's at the pool deck that it's open only at nights. It's a special dining. It's also included, but we highly recommend to make reservations because of this limited seating. You can have your tomahawk steak, and these are all included experiences.
Oh, let's book it.
I'm
Let's
getting hungry
book it.
now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to pause the video. I will book the next one right now.
Seriously, and that's an amazing experience. I've done it again, and I do have some pictures if you want. I can share it. It's real.
Oh yeah.
So because of the ship size, those are the options for dining, and we have Paula's Pantry that it's like open at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's like a cafe, fresh juices, tea, coffee, paninis, grab and goes, some breakfast items perhaps. So those are the options because the ship size is small. In our main dining room and also the al fresco, the menu changes every day. we may not have different, venues, like different restaurants, because of the size. But I sometimes say, who cares? And don't sit at the same spot every night. Just sit somewhere else and then feel that you're in a different, part of the restaurant, but the menu is different. So depending on where you are in the warmer waters, the menu changes accordingly. If you're in Spain, it's going to be more influenced by Spanish cuisine. If you're in Portugal, let's say it's Portuguese. If you're in the Meds, Greek, just changes accordingly. When you're in the polar expedition, which is now you're in the Antarctica or Arctic, because of the weather conditions, cold, that alfresco is not open at all the time. Right? So you only have the main dining room and Paula's pantry. However, as I mentioned, the menu changes all the time. And I think the food is exceptional. They're just phenomenal. It's
Love to
delicious.
hear. Love to hear that. Final question for me. What can the guest expect at night? So I know it's it's a yacht, so it's like another experience than a cruise ship that people are used to, the big ship we see on TV. But what can they expect at night as activities that they can do on the ship?
So they're very, like, I would say a little bit laid back. However, our cruise directors sometimes makes a decision too. If there's, let's say you have a group, you're together and you really wanted to have 80s disco night, you can have that, right? They're very, very flexible. The cruise directors always watches the first day what the crowd is, because you understand what the crowd is. Are they crazy? They just want action, more younger, or are they more quiet? They're there to just explore, and after the dinner, they're going to go to their, staterooms or suites, and that's it. That's why, in general, we have piano. Our piano player always a singer. Our cruise directors are also performers. Like one of them, Michael Shapiro, or Alex, they're all from Broadway that they do perform. We may have some opera nights that they do perform. So we really pick them accordingly. Other than that, we have trivia nights, we have karaoke's. On some of the meds, we might even have, karaoke. You're going to be singing.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm in.
Right. So we make sure that we entertain our clients. I have not heard anybody really get bored. So we pretty much entertain them. And the yacht has dome. It's beautiful. Oh my God. Normally, every night we get together there after the dinner. The bar is there. And then, as I mentioned, we can have some disco nights, dance nights, karaoke nights, or trivias. And they're all fun events. And also we have every day, it's not an entertainment, but some people find it's entertainment. Every day at 4:00, we have high tea. So again, it comes with high tea but again, you can drink anything you want with some hors d'oeuvres and some specialties. And along with it, we also have the entertainment like piano or guitar, depending on where we are.
Awesome.
But it's very slow, laid back.
Okay.
So what you're saying is, on your last Antarctica trip, you didn't do the silent disco like we did on the Dream Vacations annual.
No. No, actually, no. You know what? Maybe we should.
I remember there was
Exactly.
on this call who was really going at it, dancing really well. Name is Oya, I think.
Yeah, I was kind of.
Yeah.
No, we don't have. I dance just regular. I have to tell you this. I think we were in either Croatia or maybe Antarctica. I don't remember either or. It was the last night, and everybody just, as I told you, it's a very small crowd, and kind of more than 50% of the ship, everybody knows each other now, and everybody becomes friends. And the staff already, the bartender is your best friend, and everybody's having a blast. So all of a sudden, the crew came and started dancing with us. Everybody's dancing. And then someone said, "Oh, captain is right underneath the dome," like I think his cabin, because the deck, the bridge is there. And then they said, "All right, are you ready?" And I'm like, "What are we doing?" "Jump, jump, jump." We were like jumping. And I'm like, "No, don't do it. The captain is sleeping." And then the captain came. So it was really fun. And then the captain so we were all dancing and having fun. So those are the experiences that you will have. Seriously, it's not like big ships with 3,000, 2,000 people, or even 500 people. For me, it's too big. I'm spoiled. When you experience in such a in such an environment, it's hard for you to go back to the larger ships. Nothing wrong with it, really. It's they're beautiful.
It's for
It's
everybody.
different, correct. But we have a very unique product, and I love it.
Fantastic. Well, winners, you heard it first. Next time you're looking for a different kind of experience cruising on a yacht, so luxurious, and have amazing experiences around the globe, definitely think about Atlas. They are amazing, unique, and expedition #1 last year voted. So that's really something to think about. But I want to thank you, Oya. We thank you for spending some time here with us, explaining your experience and expectation for our winners to what to expect next time they are on cruise with Atlas. So thank you so very much, and I'm looking forward to see you again very soon.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope to welcome everybody on board. Thank you.
Yeah, not all together because it's not good enough.
Yeah, you don't
Why not have the whole ship? Have the whole ship. Why not?
Let's do booking a group cruise here, for all the winners. Awesome. Well, thank you so very much, and talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So thanks to Oya for joining today, and to Atlas Ocean Voyages for sponsoring today's episode. Hope you were as fascinated by it as we were chatting with her. But again, want to go on a luxury yacht to some unique destinations and not only have an enriching experience, but enrich your mind as well. Check out Atlas, and make sure you contact Nick Menard and Associates with Dream Vacations if you'd like to find more. So that'll wrap up today's episode. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time on Wanderlust Wednesday next week. Take care, winners.